the grading scale is, and I adopted this grading scale from another syllabus, but those give you the grading scales for how many points you have to get your various grades. So when you look at putting your time in, you know that 50%, you're going to get 50% there just by writing your essays. Okay? And then classroom participation and being involved on the chat board discussions and so forth all play a factor or play a role in your grade. Now I do have in this syllabus a description of your assignments. And when I do a 5 to 10 page paper, when I say to you I want a 5 to 10 page paper, really what I want is quality. I'm trying to give you guidelines for what you should be looking for in terms of the length of the paper. Excuse me. There's a message. Okay. This was the message. There's a 5 to 10 page paper. It is a guideline for you for a 5 to 10 page paper. I'm not counting pages as much as I'm looking at quality. So look at the description of what I want you to do. And I don't know why that did that. Okay. It says, a 5 to 10 page paper delivered via email covering the topic of why it's important for a person to balance personal and work-life goals and objectives. And that's due this week, which would be really, from my point of view, week 2 means before week 3. So anytime before the 3rd Tuesday, a week from this Tuesday, that paper should be submitted. Okay, we're back at the assignments discussion and what my expectations of you are. Don't focus too much on the pages, please don't. It says 5 to 10 page paper, but I'm looking for quality. And the first week is just for you to have an attitude or express your attitude or your thoughts about what the work-life balance means to you, how you conceptualize it. And really, I want it from your perspective without doing a lot of course reading at the beginning of the case, because maybe you might have a different viewpoint after reading materials here and interacting with your classmates. The second assignment is a 10 to 15 page paper, and I say 10 to 15 pages again based upon quality. Remember, I'm not concerned about the pages as much as quality. And it is a proposal format that makes a recommendation to me as CEO. You'd write me, Dr. Steele, as CEO of the company, ABC Company. And you're going to make a recommendation for how to institute new programs in the workplace to assist employees to balance their work and personal lives. You should institute 3 to 5 programs, and your reading gives you plenty of those types of programs. Costs and benefits to the employee and employer should be explained. In other words, the employer is going to know, okay, you want to do this to improve morale, to improve employee retention, etc., etc. Tell me how much it's going to cost me. Every business wants to know the bottom line. And then detail the benefits for me. We all know that one of the benefits of having employees that have well-balanced personal and work lives is employee retention. Employee retention, if you research it on the internet, is very costly. So you want to get some of your cost and benefit analyses, maybe from internet research, maybe from cost estimates if you can't find any, that you make up on a realistic basis based upon your thought processes. And so rolling out the program should be detailed. What I mean by that is every program that's initiated in an organization has a rollout. How are you going to accomplish it? You have to have the introduction of the program, maybe some training, implementation, pilot program, evaluations. I would hope that your rollout would include an orientation, a pilot segment of it possibly, an evaluation of it for redesigning it or making changes if you need to. Okay? So this is a real world assignment based upon you telling your boss, me, what you'd like to change in the workplace to improve the work-life balance in the workplace. And this is what we talked about before, the bibliography. Do an internet searching and find organizations, websites, periodicals, and books that address balancing employees' personal and work life. The bibliography, this should be in bibliography format, 150 points. And I'll post at a later date, with the aid of my wife, who's wonderful at this, a bibliography format for you. So you can see how I would expect the bibliography to be. Okay, now let's move on down. Your last assignment is to write an article for submission to a periodical or newspaper explaining the importance of employers understanding the need to assist employees in balancing their personal and private lives. Why did I ask you to do this? One time, many years ago, when I was a graduate student at the University of Pittsburgh, I had an assignment like this. It wasn't on this topic, but it was an assignment very much like this. I spent a couple hours writing a very short article, which ended up being included in a periodical, and I became a published author. I want you to do something like this for me. Okay. Now, okay.
Close.
All right. Let's move on down if we can. This is all Penn State University. Boilerplate on academic integrity and hours. Let me see if I can move this over somehow. Can we stop it? Okay. And that's basically your standard policies of Penn State University on academic integrity, et cetera, et cetera. All of this is boilerplate that you've probably seen on many of your other syllabuses. Now, I will be available Tuesday to answer any questions about this syllabus, because I know it's important to you that you know what the expectations are of you in this class. Just to summarize, you've got 3 written assignments. You've got a bibliography, you've got discussion board obligations, and classroom participation obligations. Essentially, the 3 reading books will be the focus of the discussion panels that I establish and announce to you in the course, as well as the books will be used hopefully as a basis for the writing of your 3 papers. Okay, we're going to move on to some other ideas to discuss tonight that we went over the other night as well.